Hello and welcome back to the Diaspora Divas podcast. You
Hi,
have your
guys.
regular host, Oma Wanda, Mama J, and Lady OG. As you can see, I'm rocking my bald head, and you've not seen us for a very long time. You've not seen us here for a very long time. We hope you've missed us because we have indeed missed you.
Yes.
Anyway, since it's been really long since we caught up, how's everyone been?
You know that anytime you ask that question, that's how I always respond actually. Before I actually now respond, let me take a deep breath. Fine. Fine. Just fine. Because if we start that discussion today, we will not live here today.
I don't think anything has changed much. I just think that we've just gotten used to our life and our routine, so we just keep moving.
Yeah.
Like I think I was saying driving down here, and I'm like, I don't even feel tired over those routines anymore because I've gotten so used to them.
Yes.
So it's just let's go.
It's just another day in paradise.
Yes, let's go there.
I mean, she had to shower 3 kids today, pack lunches, drop them at school. Then we started coming.
Yeah.
So, but I think so far so good. God has been faithful. We're good. We're healthy. We're alive. So
I mean, you don't even look like what you have been through. Look at your face, all well lit, made up, looking fine, even though you were angry 5 seconds ago. Backstory, but she looks good. So yeah.
So at work every week, they will ask, we have these meetings every Monday at work, and then they'll ask, oh, how was your weekend?
Mm-hmm.
And I never know how to respond to that question because my weekend was just filled with...
My sister, you didn't have a weekend.
It was just 2 days of not working.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like...
And you know the annoying part of that is how you get tired of saying the same thing over
Yes.
and over. Like I'm like,
should I lie? Should I make something up now?
Well, you get to a point where you are like, sometimes you try to avoid that scenario if you can. But it's like, what did I do? And the good thing is when friends come over, you have that extra thing to say.
Yes.
But there's some weeks when we don't catch up in months.
There's,
so like, what
there's
do?
nothing. Should I tell you how I cleaned my house? I had to vacuum.
and then I'm sure in their minds they're like boring.
Yeah.
And you had the kids full on.
Some days
no
I just
school.
said, regular mom stuff.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Anyway, recently I started reading this book. It's called Fair Play by Eva Rodkins. Ooh, I remember the author.
Woo. She's reading.
Yes.
Thank God. That makes at least one of us is reading.
So man, this book, I think it opened my eyes, and it properly articulated the message I've been struggling to pass on to my husband, because it captures how domestic responsibilities are managed in a household, because to a large extent it seems like men don't really see what goes on behind the scenes to make things happen on the day. Take for instance, you had to get the kids ready for school this morning and drop them off and all that. Last night probably would have brought out the lunch boxes, put in the snacks, put out the school uniform, shoes, socks, all of that, so that when you wake up in the morning, you are ready to go. That part is just invincible to them. And they talked about invincible labor. It's called invincible labor because all of those seemingly tiny things that you need to do to make, let's say you're going for a family vacation.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Booking the hotels, booking the flights, making
it's
sure they have...
That's why some people just look for an agent to do all of this stuff.
Checking the weather to know what
what to wear, what clothes to pack,
the clothes to make sure that for each activity they have the appropriate clothing.
Yeah.
All of that invisible labor, and it's, from the way we look at it, it looks like your husband just shows up ready to go. Like,
let's go.
With no acknowledgement of the effort.
Not understanding what you've done for the past,
to
days.
Get there. So the book has caught me on the ropes. I'm still reading it. I think I'm up to chapter 21 or 22 or something.
Please do share.
And I will, because it's interesting. I'm actually listening to it on Spotify.
Oh, nice.
The audiobook.
Nice.
And the lady, I think she also has this game as well.
Yeah.
So it's in cards.
She's going to share the link in the bio.
Yeah.
Down somewhere.
I'll put the details somewhere. So she has this game for couples. So it's different cards. like who walks the dog, who grooms the dog, like breaking everything down. In fact, it's like when you want to cook a pot of soup. The pot of soup doesn't just happen. You have to prepare your onions,
True.
your whatever ingredients. You have to prepare everything in readiness to prepare that soup.
Yeah.
But most times, according to what I understand, it's like the husbands just see a pot of soup ready.
They don't know what process it
Yes.
took for it to get there.
With no recognition of in fact, you need to go to market first. You know?
Yeah, even talking on the market, you have to first of all think about what
soup am I preparing?
What ingredients am I buying? So
And
that you won't forget what's anything on the list. Because if you forget, that takes you way back again to the market. So
and all of that forms your mental load as a woman.
Yeah, true.
Because before that thing happens, you've already spent all this mental energy in preparation, and then you start to prepare the small physical pieces of it together.
Yeah.
Until it becomes this perfect picture that the whole family gets to enjoy. Without you get?
Yeah,
so when I was reading the book, I'm like, this book will cause fight.
So, of course, fight it only show you how better to, because people don't think that little things as much as small as domestic chores can cause,
that it matters.
It can cause so much havoc in a marriage.
Have you
or in
heard
a
of
family?
Instances where some people will say, oh, because my husband likes to press the toothpaste from the middle and I like to press it from the end. That's why we're divorced.
Exactly.
Those small things, they add up to so much. Because I'm sure somebody like that, maybe by the time she wakes up in the morning and she's like, this guy's going to press that toothpaste again. And I know that my day is ruined because I'm seeing toothpaste squished in the
But just adding to what you said about the book is the mental load women carry. Because sometimes maybe they didn't see you physically do anything. So it's like, what have you been doing all day?
Yeah.
But for everything that you had to do, it's because someone paid for it for you.
Exactly.
So, but because you didn't physically see you carrying broom to sweep, but then you had to go to the shops to buy the broom.
Yeah.
You had to make sure they were cleaning agents in the house so that if you want to mop, if you want to do all of that.
But I think it's a book that will be good for both women and men.
Yes.
Exactly.
It will help them understand certain things that they don't.
Yes. So the lady even said that before she wrote the book, I think the whole premise of the book is she went out with her friends, other moms as well.
Yeah.
Went out with them, and just before they could even do a lot of the activities they had planned, you're getting calls from your husband. Oh, where is such and such socks? Or where is the shoe? Or what are they going to wear today? Or what are they eating today?
Do you know that whole sock singlet thing is very common? I think a lot of
everyone does it.
If you go to
every man does it.
My colleague at work, I see the drama. Oh, where's my lunchbox? And then both dad and the kids are calling, Mom, I can't find my socks.
Oh my goodness.
So how do you stay present to enjoy your time out? Your supposed time out. The book really got me thinking about a lot of things. And she was on the verge of divorce because she felt like she was carrying the entire family single-handedly. And from the man's point of view, it's like, oh, but I'm working, I'm earning more money. What do you have to complain about?
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
But money does not... You're keeping money on the table.
We did say that we're going to bring the men to say their own side of the story, because we can only talk about our view.
From our point of view.
But we cannot talk about the mental load they also go through. So I think it'd be nice to bring the guys, come tell us what they feel. So we'll have a balanced view.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just something interesting I thought to mention.
Yeah.
Now we are going to have a new segment in our videos going forward. And today we have Today in History.
Yes.
Joe, tell us more about it.
So today in history, we're going to be looking back at days and what happened back in history and how it's paved the way for us for the future. And so today we're going to be talking about Loretta Perfectus Walsh. Sorry if I murdered the name, but yeah, that's it. Loretta. Let's just say Loretta. Anyways, in 1917, Loretta became the first woman to be enlisted in the U.S. Navy. And that means she paved the way for other women to be in spaces where traditionally men are. So we can say thank you to Loretta for having the boldness to at least even submit you know,
One step
her,
forward
yeah, her
towards
application,
equality.
because in that time women were enlisted in other places, that they had to maybe help out with minor jobs, but
Yeah.
she actually did serve, and it was just not as a nurse. So we thank Loretta, because we have women today that are making bold statements, women that are in construction, women in combat roles, that are going to war actually. So yes, that's it for us today on history.
Thanks,
Wonderful.
Loretta.
Yeah.
Sorry, just bring up a
Lessons
tangent.
learned. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this movie on Netflix. I think it's 1888 or Triple Eight or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically this troop of black women
Wow.
that were sent to a specific place because they just felt, in fact, they were sent there to fail.
Wow.
They were not sent
Oh yes,
there.
the one with keratin.
Yes,
Yes.
Kerry
I think
Washington.
it's this is similar to it, because yes, the women were not allowed to, participate in war.
Yes.
And even then the
They
women didn't participate. They just told them to go and post
sort
letters.
mills.
Yeah.
They should go
Yeah.
and take care of the
Yes,
mills.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
they were sent there with the expectation of failure.
Yeah. And they didn't fail.
And it was amazing because when they were like, when you see the top generals sitting down to strategize and all of that, I think Oprah Winfrey, I can't remember the role she played, but when she tries to make an input in the conversation, one of the men just
Yes. Shut her
just
down.
shuts her down, just
Yeah.
acts like, in fact,
Yeah.
the wind
Exactly.
just
Or
blew.
like who spoke.
Yeah, yeah.
It just goes to show how far we are coming from. Even though we still face issues like that in today's society, it shows that at least there's hope, because we're coming from way worse.
Yes.
At least we have women that are presidents now. Even Hillary Clinton almost won, Abby, right? Something like
I
that.
think there was even a woman president,
Yeah.
Sir Johnson Sirleaf,
Yeah,
in
Liberia.
Liberia.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're getting there.
Senators,
Yes,
all of
yes,
that.
we're getting there. We're
Which is
getting there.
amazing, and it's good to note this in the month of March,
Yeah.
which is where we
Women's
have
Day.
Women's Day.
Yes.
So all of this is relevant, and
Yeah.
it's notable to see that
Yes.
women are able to occupy spaces that previously were reserved for men only.
Yeah. And
Yes.
are also given the opportunity.
Yes,
to,
equal
yeah,
opportunities.
yeah.
It's worth note to, I would also like to mention that in having this equal opportunity, I feel like we as women should also be understanding of one another, in the sense that if you see a woman who chooses to remain in the traditional roles, it does not mean that the movement of feminism is lost on her or anything.
Yeah.
Because I feel that feminism is that
Yes, feminism.
feminism is equal opportunity for all. So if
Yeah.
I choose to go into the workforce, it's my choice. If I choose to be a stay-at-home mom,
Yeah.
it's my choice.
They're both valid.
Exactly. One is not better or
Than
more relevant
other,
than
yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
So that's really good to note.
Yep, yep.
Which will bring us to our topic today, which is completely different from all we've been saying.
Gang, 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 gang.
Things I wish I knew before moving abroad.
Not the excitement you have when you're moving abroad.
Yes.
The person that calls short your excitement is when you're on the plane and you're alone.
Oh my God! I wish I could get. I
You
wish I could
start by not
find.
even, especially if you're going to maybe a country like, if you're coming from Nigeria or so, and then you're going to Dubai, you're going to Doha, you still see lots of Africans. But if you're coming all the way to Australia, or you're going to places that you will transit, I think you start to get that. When I say that, you like
Your blackness
your
engulfs
blackness
you.
is already even
You
already,
stand out. You
I'm
just
telling you,
recognize
like,
how
yeah.
you stand out.
At that point, you're feeling like mixed feelings start to set in at that point in time. So yeah, I think it's even a function of your destination country, and that's that deciding a lot for you. But yeah, things I wish.
I think I just found what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Please
I'm
share.
going to read it in a context of. I will not really. I will omit some names and some things. Even when I read it, I'm sure you remember the message. I just want to let you know how things are before you come abroad, because life abroad isn't easy, especially as a single mom. I'm wondering how you will stay here without support, especially when your kids come. You have to pay fees for them, school fees session is 9 to 3 for them. Someone has to drop and pick them. You have to do 2 jobs to catch up with expenses. What about their assignments? What about their sports? Look at me, even with a husband, I'm still complaining. Then imagine you not having someone at all. It doesn't come easy. Um, and no, I'm going to skip. I just want you to weigh your options and know where you're headed and be sure of it. Either you manage what you have back home or you come here alone and do your study without kids for 2 years and be able to do this financially. Before you are able to settle, it should take almost 3 years. Please don't take this personal. I'm just telling you how it is. So, my sister, this is for someone. I'm sure your mind is looking at me, wondering where the message come from. If only we had people that would tell us exactly what we are getting into before you actually move abroad. It is not easy. We only move because we know, oh, it might be better than where we're coming from, but it's not a bed of roses. The jobs, looking, like you said, working 2 jobs for you to be financially stable, knowing that when you come to this, it's not like you'll be flying money in a limousine. It takes you a while to settle. I can tell you that where I am now was not where I was 2 years ago. I was earning 500 a week. I could barely even send money back home, But because my mind had been prepared and said, ma tell you as it is, it no go easy. You will be fine, but be ready to do the work.
Yes, put in the work.
So I'm glad that, because some people don't know, some people just see people living a lifestyle. You see me post.
You see me post.
Yes. You see us. We go for women outing now. We go in women group like we did that boat cruise. You see us on the boat cruise. You don't know what it. You don't even know what it took for us to get to that boat cruise. The children we had to look for where they were, we babysit, and things like that.
One thing I think, and I think everybody that has moved abroad is quite different. I think it's the people. Some people have experienced stuff when they moved abroad, and they just feel that no, I'm not going to make it easy for the people coming. Come here and experience what I've experienced. It just has to do with who you are, what you stand for. I personally don't feel I've suffered. I feel like I've paid the dues for someone else, so don't come here to suffer. Some people feel like no,
you have to go through that.
Everybody must suffer.
and I think it comes down to the things that we didn't know, because when you come here, you're like, but you didn't tell me. So I also knew when I came here. So even the opportunity like that is not there for people. But there's still a lot that we wish we know. Like when back home, and you used to understand when some people will be like, I have a cousin abroad for 5 years, they've not sent me money.
I'm telling you.
Because you don't know that the person has not settled.
Yes.
So if we knew that it would take you a while before you settle, we will understand people that are already abroad better. We'll just give it to you. He has not sent $1.
I'm telling you.
Other people that are sending $10,000. Those people are probably stayed abroad 20 years.
Or they don't even have anybody. Or you know what they call the black tax thing that we always talk about. Maybe they don't know. They don't have any black tax. They're sending back home. They don't have extended families.
I hear that then people take 6 months to 1 year to get a job. So they're probably leaving from train stations. We see people that sleep on trains. Things that we don't know.
Yeah. We had a topic where we talk about new migrant versus we talked about it there. We need to bring new migrants and old migrants so that people will hear. I'm telling you, it will be such an interesting story, because when I sit down and listen to people like Omari, her husband, Dickin David, and then hear all they had to go through, and then me, I'm here and I'm flying Uber because I didn't have a car, and then they're looking at me and they're like, you are flying Uber. We need to have that conversation.
I think one important thing when you arrive in a new country as a migrant might also be the connections, the immediate connections you make.
Yes, it helps.
Yes, because if you are connecting with people that are still trying to find their feet, it sort of prolongs your...
This thing that you just said, when I came, I was still schooling and I had a couple of friends, but because I had someone like Omari, very experienced and all that, so it didn't take me time to understand the system as well. So anybody that wants help, I'll say, my sister told me this. So it now made my friends, my sister's friends, because most of them will go to her to get, like the real gist. How can she go about this? How can they go about their tax? How can they go about getting jobs, getting a house,
Yeah.
And then because of that, those connections, their lives were easier. But when we're all just sitting down, we didn't know what to do. All of us sat down. We heard about something called tax return. We don't know how to do it. I'm like, I
How
know
does
so,
it work and all of
so
that?
yes, it does actually depend on the connections.
One thing I wish that I really understood before moving is how long it takes for you to start feeling like you have
Yeah.
settled in a
Hmm.
new place.
I have one question. Do you think you have settled?
How many years? How many years now?
Almost 8 years.
And she hasn't settled. Talk more of me. There's how many, barely how many years old?
Feeling that
Yes.
when you might look at it and be like,
Yes.
I think what we are, where we are at is like, I've accepted that I'm here. I don't think the world will be
Someone
very,
can be looking at me from the outside and be like, "Oh, she's
She's
settled,
well
she's
settled.
done,
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
But me, inside of it, I know that I'm not yet settled.
I think it will be much better for our kids because they are young. They were
Oh, of
younger when
course.
they came here. Yeah. But for us, I think that no matter what we do, we'll only try. I don't think we'll ever
Feel settled
because we grew in our
there's a
adult years. We
constant,
spent more
yes,
home.
there's a constant
Yeah.
struggle
Yeah.
of where you are coming from and where you are. It's constant.
I have a friend who says he can't stay anymore. He's going back.
Wow.
He said he can't deal with it. That
Wow.
the stress.
How long has the person
2 years.
But that's why you see there are people that tell you that
So
they
yeah,
can't retire.
so yeah,
There are people that tell you they
that's
want
exactly
to
what he
retire
says.
back home
Yes,
because-
yes.
But like my husband used to say,
He said
I
it's
think
too
the
stressful.
issue we have is also that we didn't come here at an early stage of our lives.
Exactly.
We came here. The stage where we came here is where some people already made that were born here.
Yes.
But
So it's causing
the people, even us as migrants, I don't know if we're the ones that are giving ourselves this stress. The people that were originally from here and born here, they're not under so much pressure that like
We're
we.
not under any pressure.
The pressure we put on ourselves is we know that if we hadn't come here, if we had maybe maintained our jobs that we
back
had
home.
back home and grown in that, where we are today is probably not
Yeah.
where we would be if we had stayed back home.
True.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's say
We moved for a better life.
Yes. Let's say I started an entry level job in some firm in Nigeria and was earning 150K or something per month. In 5-6 years, I would have climbed so much that I would be earning maybe 800, depending on the firm, of course. Maybe 800K.
Very true.
But when I move here, I'm back to entry level. All that accumulated 5, 10, however number of
Becomes
years
nothing.
is you're starting a clean slate.
Yeah.
But I also think that the reason why we're also stressed compared to the people here is the fact that some of us came here, and maybe not me, but some people came here with community donation.
What do you mean by that?
When I say community donation, probably the whole community or the whole family came together to put money for you to be able to come abroad because it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And so when you come abroad, you feel like you owe all those people.
Yes.
Even if not them, but then that one has a child. So it will take you a while to settle. And the only way you settle is by also helping them. So until you spend the first 10 years of your life or 15 trying to get your feet and trying to help them get their feet, you cannot be settled.
Looking at it.
Another point on the things I wish I knew before moving abroad is black tax.
Yes. My sister.
Black tax.
It doesn't ever end.
Because people,
And in fact, nobody believes that you have your own problem. It's just, I don't know.
it's not that they don't be we understand you have
Oh my
your problem.
God. But you're better than us.
But you are abroad. Don't they knock on your door every Friday evening and give you $5,000
From the tree.
Yeah, what do you mean you
They
don't have
plucked it
money
from
to
the
send
sky.
to us?
Do you know what
You guys,
Let me tell
seriously.
you what I showed someone one day. Because, when in the process of our first hustle, I used to call it Bambiala. It's fundraising.
Yeah.
And for every time I went to the city and train stations, I used to still see beggars on the street. So one day I said to someone, do you think it's only Nigeria that have beggars?
Yeah.
There are beggars on the
Everywhere.
street. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
So don't think that people just come here and it is easy and there's one money there and all we need to do is pluck it.
Or some random person, not even closely connected to you, just calls you like, oh, things are hard. I beg anything that you can send, please send. Then you scrape and send 20K. Then they will call you and say, they owe you. I not expect this kind of money from you.
If only you know say that
Do
20K.
you remember
How
there
you
was a
take?
time my husband was chatting and said when he sent money to someone, he couldn't even get thank you because the person, maybe he fell short of the person's expectation. Your sweat.
So I should send my money according to your expectation.
Yeah, people are picking.
People don't even know that $20 or something that you changed. They don't know how it should have helped you.
You
Yeah.
have forfeited something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Irrespective of what. Maybe I forfeited my sleep to do an extra shift.
Yes.
Maybe I forfeited buying something just to accommodate.
Exactly.
But people don't understand.
Or appreciate the sacrifice that
See,
you
and
made.
I was watching a video on Facebook, it popped up, and people don't understand that the people abroad sending you money are in debt.
Tell me about it.
You don't have any.
If someone abroad was dying a debt or one, the mortgage, the house you're living in is not yours.
We just only thank God at least that we are eating.
Maybe the car that
But
you're
people back
driving,
home will tell you that they're not
it's
eating.
still on a
You
payment
have
plan.
loan.
Yeah.
Your phone is on a payment plan.
Yeah.
So I think I just related because it's like everything we're doing abroad is on a payment plan.
Yes.
Whereas in Nigeria,
It's outright.
Yeah.
or other countries that are like Nigeria, it's outright.
Yeah. That's why if you see somebody driving Lamborghini in Nigeria, you're telling them,
You'll be
Odogu.
like, yes.
Yes. Because you
But
paid
they're
it.
driving Lamborghini here.
We don't say if you don't
So
pick
you're
a payment plan.
Maybe you're paying 2K repayment
Yes.
a month. or
I mean,
something.
even if iPhone come out today, you buy up tomorrow. We
So
don't say
just
that
know
payment
when
plan.
people are earning money, they're putting it across all their bills, and sometimes there's nothing left.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when someone asks you for money,
Disclaimer, sorry, we're not saying payment plan is bad, though, please. You can.
It's the perception.
Yeah.
What we're trying to address here is just the perception that people who live outside your home country are well off.
Yeah, I'm doing well to do.
And if they are unable to meet your own financial expectations, then they become the enemy.
Yeah.
Which is a very horrible way of thinking.
Sometimes, even because of that, I feel like even if you ask me, I would rather tell you I don't have, because if I can't now send you the small $10 or $20 I have, you might not say, oh, I even thought you were going to say,
It's still a
or
function of
50K.
who is asking you. Anyway, you know there are people that would appreciate it very little, but there are people that want the big thing.
Yeah.
But most times I won't have the big thing to give.
I think this behavior stems from the mindset our parents or our parents had from back in the day, where if you're abroad, you're doing
abroad means dollar or pounds have fallen.
Yes, you have a tree in your backyard that just you harvest your pounds and dollars from.
Those movies that we watch and how they portray
when they come back from abroad,
the spring dollar.
Yes. This is real life.
They don't even know that they deport people from their abroad.
This is real life. Everybody is hustling. The way you are in whatever country you currently are watching us from, you are there hustling. Is the way every other person in every country that they find themselves are hustling. No one has it better than the other. And that's not to say that there's not people that have these fabulous jobs that are paying them thousands and thousands of dollars per week, and they can afford that lifestyle. But assume that everybody's just trying to stay afloat in this life.
Yeah. I mean, as you're seeing me yawning, you don't know what it took for us to be here today. It's the abroad life, my sister, my brother. Why are you laughing?
Because there is no. I think people that watch will just be like, MJ. There's one direction before, there's only one direction. If you the money aspect, I think we are doing it. But that's what your name is MJ. It stands for the money J.
Oh, I have a group of my former colleagues in Lagos Business School used to call me J Money.
Yeah. See, I'm
You call me J Money.
One thing I was
J
going to say about what we
Money.
did on moving abroad is the way of life here is just so different. Very different. I think what we didn't understand is why we are happy that we are moving. We didn't even understand that the happiness was just going to be confined in our house.
Yeah.
I can't wake up and say I'm going to dine with my cousins. I can't, you don't have.
I'm going to see my dad this weekend.
Even the friends that you make, you probably sometimes you're not seeing them in months. So it's the fact that sometimes you're just in your house going through your stress alone.
Yeah.
Because now we have families. Imagine people that came alone. You go to work, you come
The
back alone.
loneliness.
The loneliness is killing. And I think that's why
Loneliness.
most times some people are telling you they want to go.
Yeah.
But once you have a family, you begin to, adjust and say, okay, you have, people you are returning to. But while you are still alone,
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
nobody will explain it to you.
It's really,
that
really
even
hard.
the money you are making does not make you happy.
Let's also talk about the loneliness. Oh my God. If you guys have grown your families here, but me, I'm still here alone. And I can tell you that in the first 6 months, I experienced, like, when you talk about detachment, or what do you say, because I was coming from somewhere where I was managing people, so I was used to, and I was working in customer services. I was seeing thousands of people every day. So here, constantly seeing my sister, her husband, her kids, my sister, my husband, my kids, my sister, her husband, her kids, and sometimes I don't want to see her face, like, oh my God. And then you're working, you go work, come back, sleep, go back, work, sleep. At least we used to have, thank God it's Friday, and, when we have, in fact, half day on Fridays. Still get, we don't even have to have money. We can do collabo.
As more as time goes on,
Yeah.
and you start to, I think one thing that's really important is making friends outside of your nationality. You need to get to a point where you're comfortable making friends outside of your nationality.
My sister, he had.
Yes.
He had.
It's a constant struggle.
I'm sorry, sometimes I can't hear what they're saying. How do I keep up a conversation with somebody that I don't understand their accent?
You will continue to engage in that conversation. Eventually.
I recently had my team leader tell me something. You've heard his accent before, and he was telling me things to do. I couldn't, and I was tired of saying, "What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?" But I expected him to get the drip and then talk slowly, because his accent is really, really fast.
Yeah.
My sister, do you know what? If he says one word, I'll be able to get the remaining. But I wasn't
guessing.
Yes, I was guessing what he wanted me to do.
What you said just now reminded me of when we had to get someone into the house to fix something. I think he's probably Arab, I think. And he was speaking English. Thank God my husband was home that day, because I didn't hear one word. I'll be like, what did he say? And you say, oh, he just said that he will fix it. He's not going to take this time. I'm like, that's what you do.
But you know that making friends with other people is a function of where you're at. So, because these other people, most of them were born here. Their activities is make money, spend it, go to the beach every week.
Yeah.
They keep calling you for these things.
And you know that you're not there.
You're not available. That friendship will also
Or the money. Or the money.
Or the money is expensive.
When there's black tax, my brother and sisters, there's black tax.
What the load you carry is not the same as what they carry. And I think that's what also limits people from making friends at a particular stage in their life. 5 years down the line, probably tell you, oh, I have more friends. Because you're a bit more settled than you are now.
Yes.
Because you have to know that your Saturdays and Sundays are not for you or your family. It's now for
friends.
For keeping relationships.
My people, I have been diagnosed with a sickness just recently, conversion rate syndrome. I cannot stop converting. Converting the rates, because you tell me to go for drinks, 20,000 naira. I'll go and spend $20 on buying one cup of drink, when I can convert that money to naira and get 20,000.
And you can use $5 and buy one big bottle and drink it. Yeah,
I tell you. So it's not even as much as just having the friends. It's the mentality from back home. I can just buy 5,000 naira fish, but the $50 my sister will cost 50,000, and black tax will make me have conversion money syndrome, which I cannot, I can't just put at the back of my head. If we go on an outing and say, oh, I'm spending $100, my sister, you have to give me 2 weeks to raise the $100, because I might have to think about someone else that is saying he's dying in Nigeria. So I don't carry $100 to have fun when somebody's dying in Nigeria. My brothers, that's so loneliness. Sometimes it's not even by choice; it's because of what you have in front of you. You get
the responsibility.
Yes.
You know what I just thought about now? It's very important. Things you do before you got abroad. That every job is not a bank manager's job.
Yeah.
You know that's when you're abroad, when you're back home and you're coming.
Let's not even go into.
You understand the way that, and I don't know.
Let's not even go into it.
Nobody understand that it is more of blue collar jobs that you will see here than the white collar jobs.
Yeah.
We just assume that there's a bank job waiting for you.
My brother.
And I feel that too.
You are not ready.
Most people are not still able to explain what they're doing when they're abroad.
Yeah.
You're not explaining that you're washing dishes in the kitchen, but hello, we put food on your table.
Yeah.
It's that money for kitchen hand that you're sending back to
Yeah.
but you know there are also people here in their abroad that intentionally leave their white collar job for blue collar job because
Yeah.
it pays better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the mindset we have back home is that you come here, that you're a bank manager, you are doing this, you're working in the.
You know, someone was
that's
even
what-
telling me that you don't understand what I'm doing here. That I left my job back home because I had the telling I was going to be promoted.
Yeah.
A day before, a week before, I was going to be promoted. My salary was going to be increased, and I still said, mwah, "Let me."
Peace out.
Yeah. And he said, "So you had that kind of job and you left? How you just dey annoy me? You dey piss me off. Every time I see you, they piss me off." He said, "You can't stay here with me and this guy."
Opportunity cost.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity cost, and if whichever outweighs the other, is what you.
I
will
mean,
go
and there's
for.
still room for us to grow. It's just for this while. You get?
It's for a while.
It's just for this while. Like that message was saying, it will take you 2-3 years. This is great. I'm going to my 3rd year.
But bear in mind, I've seen people come into the country today, and in less than 2-3 weeks, they have
exactly. Yes, I also think it depends on what you want. For example, the business analyst class I did, I could as well just go on, but I said I'm not ready yet. The blue collar is what pays me right now because of my present situation.
Yeah.
When I'm ready for white collar, I will go white collar.
Yeah.
You know, so it just depends on your situation, where your kids are, the kind of
well,
age of
and-
your
and in
kids.
stages,
You
some
know,
people come here without responsibilities.
Exactly.
It's easy for them to take any offer they just see. Whereas if you have responsibility, you would choose. You even settle for a lower paying job because it suits your needs more than that. So we're not saying that people don't make it in weeks.
people do.
But the
Most
average
times.
person does not make it in weeks.
Also,
But there are exceptions.
you are also saying, I mean, even this loneliness I'm talking about, how I have to convert. There are people, just like you said, I know someone that is here and their family sends them money. They convert Naira to AUD.
Oh my gosh.
The guy, clubs, Saturdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays.
That one is.
He's chilling.
That one is mommy's boy
you
now.
my colleague at work,
So,
when we were still working,
it's not everybody. Yeah.
Those ones are.
So everybody's
children. When
What do you know what you mean by children?
When I say children,
how old is the person?
No, not about how old. It's like where you are in life.
Yeah.
You get.
They have no
For
responsibility.
someone
Yes.
over 30.
Is the person married?
No kids.
Does the person have kids?
No.
One mommy now.
But also, in the time when I came to Australia,
Yeah.
more than 50% of people's fees were still being paid from Nigeria. But that was also, like I said,
But Nigeria was good then.
if you send the exchange rates, I thought it was like
Exchange
140.
That's horrible
So
then.
if they send you 100,000 naira, you still get a good amount.
It's not like
amount
now
of
that
money.
it's so
And
so
then
wide.
as it changed, a lot, like in our time when exchange rates started going high, parents couldn't now send fees.
Yeah.
So what happened was a lot of people deferred. Because it was a huge change for everybody.
Yeah, and people were
You
now
had to
also
fend for
getting
yourself. That was
jobs.
never the plan.
Yeah.
So people needed. I'm saying, in my set, couple of people deferred. A lot of people deferred.
Wow.
Because when you're going to likes of University of Sydney and UNSW,
Expensive.
you're paying like 20 grand a term.
Wow.
Not even a section, 1 term. So you understand that.
And you have 3 terms in
we
1
all
year.
needed a lot to go back and re-strategize and see what we had to do. 10 jobs, 5 jobs, whatever the case was. So I think in the last 10 years, life in abroad shook people differently.
Yeah.
Really, really, really hard.
But I think that irrespective of that, we newbies, we had it easier than because we had people to guide us.
Yeah.
And our people are more open now. We have more communities like the church, mostly redeemed churches. They help you to settle. They will even send someone to pick you from the airport. Things like that. There's someone that's always willing to tell you, did Omari tell you about that person we met in Newtown?
Yes.
Okay. So things like that, how they get settled. It's just by the help of the church. So you never can tell, like, it's not that bad.
That happened so quick because I told you that not only the church coming, another forum that I belong to also posted that he needed accommodation.
Yeah. So imagine.
So under 24 hours,
he was settled.
Yeah.
So
to an extent.
To an extent,
an
yes.
extent.
But
That you
imagine
even
he
see
was
people
left
to
alone in the
talk.
cold.
Yeah, that you see people
You
to
know,
even talk to.
I'm not sure that this happened 10 years ago because Omari's husband was also telling me about how he came in, how he settled, how it was hard to
I
find
was stranded
accommodation,
and moving
you
with his
know.
bags on the street
But
just to get
now,
somewhere to
in
live.
24 hours, you're willing to see a community that helps.
Oh, no.
Shout out to all our Africans and Indians and Asians that have family
All
and are
migrants,
willing. Yes.
because I find
You
that
guys are the real G's
in
because everyone is
Australia,
always willing to help.
people that migrated are
Yeah.
always willing
To
to
help
help
because
other
they know
young
what they
people
went
settle.
through.
Yeah.
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 So,
But
yeah.
also, opportunity to shout out to some Australians that know a lot about migrants, because in the course of the job when I was doing fundraising, I met one or two people that would be like, if you are struggling, I can adopt you. It's not a lot that you find them.
Yeah.
But you also know how we struggle to adapt when we moved in the abroad. But to see one or two people like that are ready to go the extra mile for you, speaks a lot.
Yeah.
Like they are, like when I first came and I had issues, when my dad was not feeling well and all that, it was one of my lecturers that offered me her place in Bondi Junction. And she would tell me, understand, I never forget her. She would always tell me, give me a spare key to her house. And said if I didn't want to go back, I should go and sleep in her house.
Wow.
Service engineering, that was what she told me.
Wow.
So aside podcast, I have a master's degree in software engineering. I'm not even sure if people know that.
She doesn't have only a soft. Let me help her blow her trumpet.
No.
She has more masters. Say the second one. See her. Motherhood has taken over. Eh? Yes, so I'm telling
We
you.
will revisit this
Yes.
at a later time.
And please, when you're talking about father, you don't forget our father. She said my father. Just personalizing.
She was talking about her own
I
experience.
beg. I beg.
When you're talking your own experience,
You said my father.
because it's not relevant to her. It's
Sorry.
relevant to just you.
She wasn't even here then.
Let me just let you know the sibling war never ends.
Why should I factor you
Even
in
if
when
you
you
are
cannot
40,
relate to
it
what I
never
was going
ends.
through?
I mean, what did I just say that was
So,
wrong now?
But and she was so nice. She wanted to check where I live, what I do, where I'm going to. If I was going to the hospital, she would come with me.
Wow. Where is she now?
You think I think she relocated to another station.
She try and say hi. Hit her up, say hi.
Yeah, we do on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
So it's not, but we still.
Well, that's.
What's her name again?
That brings.
Understand.
Thank you, understand. Thank you.
That brings me back to my previous point of making friendships outside of your nationality.
Yes, you're right.
Because if you're making friends with people that have already settled down, like they were born and bred there, they are, true Australians, you have friendships with them. Some things that you have no idea, they would very quickly clear it out for
before
you.
the end of the year. I'll see.
Yeah, and I even had another family.
But my sister, there's no places to make again.
I need to go to their house to have breakfast.
There's no places to make these friends again. We are finished school. No, this thing. Where will you meet them?
There are always places. There are venues. When we do, come on, so many places.
I used to.
I think it's best when you were in school.
No.
I only have other African friends from other nationalities like Kenya.
When you listen to programs that are coming up, when we have Vivid, all those things, the more you go out. Do you know how people make friends? You can sit with someone on the train station. My sister.
That was what I was going to say. That before
the last Vivid we went, ain't no going this year.
But do you know why? Your experience?
Okay, were you there with us?
No. Okay. But your experience will be different for Vivid because there are people who went there 12 hours before you got there.
Wow.
So people go there and then they form friends, like they start gisting before they're out of Vivid because they've gotten like a slot with their picnic stuff and all that. So people go there, meet new friends. Schools, when your children start going to school, and guess what? They do.
The show only lasted for 10 seconds. Yeah. And it was done, and all of us started walking back. See, there was nowhere to walk to. There was practically human beings in front of them.
Because at the time, schools do.
But it was lovely.
We have a Gregory Hills in our group. Yeah. You see where some parents will come and be like, "Oh, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I'm looking for play date for my kids." Oh, nice. You come with how what friendships have formed. You're going to same school. You're going to this. But you have to be intentional about wanting to. The friendship doesn't come to meet you.
No, it doesn't.
But someone has put herself out there by saying that I have kids. I'm looking for play dates.
So if you have kids, that age range as well.
Also help the kids as well to build build,
relationships.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
don't do that because we're just going school, church,
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
Well, who are we seeing? Us.
It's just like our last episode. We're talking about social life in Australia. We same thing. It has to be about intentions. You have to be intentional about it. But when you're picking 5 shifts and 10 shifts, how will we do it?
He who has ears, let him or her hear.
I don't know who you're talking to, but who he has here hears. What did she say? However she said it, let you hear. Because
Let's leave it at that.
because I'm sure you're not talking to me.
Let's leave it at that. If you have any experiences or like things that you wish you knew before
Yeah.
you moved to a new country, things that just like I'm really out of my country. If you have things that you wish you knew
Yeah.
before moving, please leave in the comments and let's have that conversation in the comment section.
And how you can borrow salt by knocking on your neighbor's door.
It's real. Or how shops close at 5 o'clock, and if you forgot to buy that thing, that's the end. Say tomorrow.
I needed to share this experience.
Yes.
I don't know why I ran out of salt. I was still living in Granville. Girl, no shop was next to me. So I was a unit.
Yeah.
So I had so many neighbors. Girl, I walked around. I didn't see shop to buy salt.
Try.
My food. I was like, do you know, at the end of the day, I looked at all the doors. I keep going to each unit. I get there. Do I know?
Just because you're looking for salt.
Whereas, I don't need to know you. You're my neighbor.
I'm Alpha, man. You get salt for there. You feel help me add Maggie joiner. Plus onions. Don't worry, if I go back, I go buy your back for you.
You get your complete. Look, it took me hours.
Yeah.
I was with Nero.
You did talk of rice.
Yes,
You will even borrow rice.
I was talking about salt. I just couldn't knock on the door because
Yeah.
I felt, was it weird to me? Was it? Would they kick me out and just look at, why would you not?
They call police and
Yes.
there's strangers at my door.
But guess what? Even though we're saying this back home, it's not like people back home are not discouraged or anything. I've seen like things on Instagram where people will say, if you buy, come back. If you buy like that,
Because some people have started knowing. And
Yeah.
see, it's about you too as a person. Be open to what you're going through. Don't hide it because let it not be as if you are the one that is a failure because they spend so much money on you.
Yeah.
While I am explaining to you, I am not telling you that I will not keep moving on. But I want like every step ahead in my journey to understand that so that you to be able to tell other people that this is what you would encounter when you get there, but you will eventually get there.
Yeah.
So people are not sharing their stories. Husbands that brought wives here did not tell them that maybe this is what they were doing. The wives came here, struggled, it caused issues in homes too. So I think if you come, let people, I'm not saying tell everything, but let people know the struggles that you are going through. And I think it would probably just help movement, whether it's in the abroad, even if it's interstate, wherever you are. Let people know that this is how this is.
Exactly.
And I think it will help everyone.
I think my own conclusion, if I could call it that, will be that people are just people. Doesn't matter what country you find yourself. So the way you are hustling in Nigeria is the same way someone in Australia is hustling. It's the same way someone in Canada is hustling.
Exactly.
Except those privileged few that were born into wealth.
That's right.
But the majority of us
Even if you
fall outside of
side notes.
fall outside of that category, and you just
Things happen.
Yeah, you just take care of yourself. So everyone is just trying to do the best they can do.
Yeah, and be intentional about it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
Why did you just look at me like that when I said it? The way you looked at me, I don't like it.
No, she
Because I said,
like, oh my God, is this coming to an end?
oh, okay.
I was looking like, are you ready to do the usual? Like,
oh, you guys, I miss you people. Please share, like. I forgot because it's been long with the podcast. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You see, they've adopted it now. So please, you guys, help us so that we can be monetizing our page, please. But we're enjoying the conversation, Sha. Just so you know. I've said it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Thank you.
And until next time.